Thank you for watching Tech2's instructional video on the ESNA Tech version 7 UC Client Manager. This is our last video and we're going to talk about in your UC Client Manager the settings options. And these are, again, just different options to make the UC Client Manager more what you want it to be for you. The first thing we have in here are our general options. And do we want the UC Client Manager to automatically start up every time that I log into Windows, or do you want to start it up when you want to? If you want it to automatically start up, go ahead and check this. Allow automatic sign-in means when I do start my UC Client Manager, it's automatically going to sign me in. You had to have made sure to put your password in when you first set up your mailbox and saved that in order for this part to work. Automatic reconnect. If you're disconnected from the LAN or something happens where your connection to the UC Client Manager is disrupted other than when you specifically chose to exit it, this will attempt to connect again so that your UC client will connect without you or having to interfere with it at all. A single messaging window, this is for your LAN talk. Now what this will allow you to do is it'll make tabbed messaging for if you're doing a LAN talk conversation with several different individuals. Otherwise, if this isn't checked, they're each going to pop up in their own little box someplace on your screen. So whichever way works better for you. Now, secure web right now, all of the communication occurs in HTTP. If you wanted to use HTTPS, you would go ahead and check this, and it would use the secure. A number of recent items, how many items do you want to show on the LAN talk list, any of your lists there. And your default search engines, and to change your passcode. So those are your generals. Now in the call manager, these are some options that you can do here. We have a separate call manager so that when a message comes in, when a call comes in, our call manager pops up in its own box. If you uncheck this, then it won't be a separate window. It'll actually integrate itself right into the UC Client Manager. You can also have that box automatically close when there's no more calls remaining to your extension. Outbound call control will allow you to have the call manager actually work for outbound calls too, so it pops up when you go off hook. And then your call pop. We talked about this before, the ask pop or ask and pop. Pop is just going to send you up that little PC notification with the caller ID of the person that's trying to call you. The events and notification, these are the sounds that you make. Now this top one is to disable sounds and notifications if you are in the unavailable mode. That way if you're in a meeting or something's going on but your computer is on and you get a call or you get a LAN talk, this will disable all the sounds if you're unavailable so that it doesn't interrupt what you're doing in your office. And these are again, do you want new sounds from the active chat window? Now if you have already started a conversation with somebody, so the LAN talk, you have already received your new message notification, but that box is up and you're waiting for another response. When that response comes, when you have new message sounds from an active chat window checkmarked, you'll receive another audible indication that a new message has come in. Record beep. While you're recording, barging into another conversation or recording, this would send an audible beep so that people know that you're there. The tray animation, when there's a new event, your UC Client Manager down here, it looks like a little building, will go ahead and move around. And the tray, if there's been a new event or if you have a new email or something happens, this actually grabs your attention. So that's your events and notification. Here's your sounds. Now you can choose to mute all sounds. If you can't stand the sounds it makes, just mute them all. Or you can customize them to any WAV file that you'd like to use. So these are when you're connecting to the UC client or disconnect your incoming calls and faxes. You can either leave them at default or go ahead and change them to something that you would rather use. Your plugins, these are different programs that you can use together with the UC client, and you can enable or activate or disable any of these plugins that are here already. Now if you use Skype and you wanted to have the Skype integrate with your UC Client Manager, you could go ahead and turn that on. Same thing if you with your Bluetooth, turn that on. And again, you can then configure these different options for your specific device. If you're using Google Talk, go ahead and turn that on. And that now, once these are and not configured. So we would have to configure that one first. Once you've got these all set up, then you would just go ahead and read the documentation for all those specific devices and their integration. And that's the basic using of your UC Client Manager, the different options that you have available to you, and how to set up your Find Me, Follow Me, and to make the UC client work best for you. There are still many other options that we didn't talk about. The documentation will take you through all of those specific details, but what we did talk about is what is used most often and should get you on the road to being where you'd like to be with your UC Client Manager. Again, thank you for listening.